The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Hey everybody, not good morning, but good hello. Happy New Year. It's 2017. How are you? Welcome to the show. Yeah. Oh yeah. Welcome to the show. 2017. Can you believe it? You've made it. Congratulations. A successful another year in the books. And I am all excited. I'm actually optimistic for 2017. I usually don't care. But this year, I don't know. I got a good feeling. I don't know why. I don't even drive a Toyota. I have a good feeling. I drive a Kia. That's what I drive. I drive a Kia during the fastest podcast on earth. Let's just get that right over with right now. Right over with right now? Yeah, let's get to it. Let's do the mileage report. And that mileage report is brought to you by ComedyPipe.com. Pipe Dream is the show anywhere you are in the world. If it's Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the United States of America on the Eastern Seaboard, it is time for Pipe Dream Live with your host, Mike, also known as 3D, and his co-host, Jefferson and Joe Green. There you go. That's my plug. That's my quickie plug. And that's it. Thank you. Oh, mileage report is 223,961. 223,961, still going strong. Although in the last week, the heat, the blower that gives you heat and all that stuff, it kind of like, it's there, and then I can hear it like not being there, and then it's back. Then I switch it, like I got four selections, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'll like move it to 3, or if it's on 4, then it'll work. It's weird. So I've had this problem before. Maybe I'll take it to the mechanic and he'll adjust the belt or do whatever he does, because he's a mechanic. He knows. He doesn't have to think about it. I leave the car there, he pops the hood, and boom, he makes it work. Jeremy, he's my mechanic at Good Automotives in Lake Katrine. Not a sponsor. Good Automotives. I don't think he would sponsor the show. I don't think he would appreciate the content. He's kind of a religious guy, but he's a cool guy. I'm surrounded by religious people. God just sends them to me. I don't know why. And now he sent me some astrological people, with Linda Irwin from Awesome Insanity Surfers and Jeff from The Spark, or he is The Spark, and his show is called Taking Over the Globe. All right, well, I might mention them later in the show. Let's get right to it. Hello, dum-dums. Welcome back to the Dumbcast. It's great to have you. It's great to be here. Day 5. It's Sunday morning. It is nice and early, actually, for me. 8:08 in the morning, and I'm headed home. 5 days. I was actually napping just minutes ago. I was just sitting there in the car. I just taken a whole bunch of notes. I actually did a little prep work. I mean, I didn't do a lot. I got into the car after the end of the day. I clocked out. I had to go do some laundry at my job, which basically you just take some shirts and you throw it in a hamper, like when you were a child. Did you have a hamper? Does everybody have a hamper? Wow. I just thought of that. I had a hamper. Anyway, yeah, you lift the lid and it stores your dirty clothes in the bathroom. I think that's where my mom put it. Yeah, we had a hamper in the bathroom. Wow. Do they even make those anymore? They probably make them very stylish. Anyway, so we don't have a hamper in my house now. We have a basket. We just have a basket. It's the same basket that you put the clean clothes in. They're in there dirty, then you dump them in the machine, they come out, you clean, you put them in the whatever. It's the same thing. It's multi-purpose, I guess. What do I know? All right. I think we got it at Linens and Things. Not a sponsor. All right, here we go. All right. Hello, Dum-Dums. Welcome to the Dumbcast, the fastest Dumbcast on earth. And it's great to have you here. Wow, a new year. Yesterday, last night, this morning. So, by the way, I don't know if all of the world has had their New Year's. Let me see. I'm on the Eastern Seaboard of... nobody uses the word seaboard. I do. I don't know why. East Coast. So at midnight, of course, we had New Year's at midnight. Very good, Dave. When's New Year's? Midnight. Oh, good. You're right on top of it. Yes, I am. I'm very sharp. Did you use your watch? No, I just made that up. I just remembered. Oh, did you really? Yes, I did. I'm good like that. You're like a Timex. Yes, I am. I'm Dave X. So California on the West Coast is 3 hours later. So if it's midnight here, it's 3 in the morning here would be midnight there, right? Yes. So then isn't it like 3 hours to Hawaii? So that would be 6 a.m. here. So if it's 8 a.m. here in New York, then I'm guessing Japan, if they're not being hit by a tsunami or a typhoon or a major earthquake or some sort of government oppression, then they might be celebrating New Year's. Not the Tibetans, right? They're very unhappy. Is that what goes on over there? Are they like being controlled by the Japanese or the Chinese? Anyway, all right. What about North Korea? What's it? What is get your? What would my drill instructor say in the Navy? He would say, "Seaman recruit Canyon, engage brain, then speak." Yeah, that's what he would say. Petty Officer Ham. Thank you, Petty Officer Ham. That was in the Navy days. How many years ago was that? God, he's got to be retired by now. That was 1983. I went into the Navy, so that was 33 years ago. He's probably dead. So I'm guessing the prime meridian, right? That's where the last or the first line of longitude is. How weird would it be if, like I'm always, this is not even in my notes. If when you live on a near timeline, it's weird, right? Because you're like, I'm East. I'm Eastern Standard Time. All right, so midnight, and then right across the river, I'm just, let's say across the Mississippi or whatever. All right, now they're mountain, or what's next after Eastern? Central, and then mountain, and then Pacific. Are there 4 time zones in the United States? So if they live across the river, or whatever boundary line there is, I mean, I'm sure not all time zones are separated by water. That would be convenient, wouldn't it be? And I'm sure there's not a big white line on the ground. I'm sure there's not like police tape that says, hey, you cross this line, you're going to be an hour early. You go the other way, you're going to be an hour late. So figure it out. So let's say, well, I see, this would have been good. Maybe I'll do some research for the next week. I'll get back to this. If you live near the prime meridian, if I remember correctly, that's line of longitude 0, or does it start with 0? I used to be in the Navy. I used to know this very well. So let's say you're on the other side. Let's say those guys on the other side of the river, on the western side of the river, it's midnight and they go. But you're a day behind. You got to wait 24 hours for the globe to spin around, and then it comes back to you. It's got to happen somewhere. Somebody is the last place that gets New Year's. Somebody's the first, and somebody is the last. So I wonder if and where ever that occurs. There's got to be someplace, because that's time ends somewhere, right? Unless you're Superman, right? And then and Lois Lane is going to die, so you fly counter-clockwise to the Earth's rotation, and you stop the spinning, and then you turn time backwards. By the way, that had to be one of the dumbest things ever. I think that's been critiqued as one of the dumbest things ever in a movie, that Superman was so distraught that Lois Lane died. By the way, he's Superman. He can get anybody he wants. He's with that whack job. Margot Kidder. I remember that. Margot Kidder. And how ironic. Christopher Reeve died. And I think Margot Kidder might still be alive. Is she? I don't know. So, yeah, he flew counterclockwise so fast that he stopped the Earth, and the Earth started going backwards, and they went back in time. And then Lois Lane was alive. Nobody felt the Earth stop and go backwards, and nobody questioned it. And Lois Lane's a reporter, and so is Superman, when he's Clark Kent. So that would have made a good story. But, I guess Lois Lane could have written it because she was about to die. Wow, what a reference I just pulled out of my butt. All right, I wasn't even going to get to that. All right, where's my notes? Let's just get to the show. So where's the last place? All right, maybe I'll do that research for this week. Or for the, by the way, show 50. Oh, my God, I forgot to mention, it's show 50. We're 50 from 100, the big countdown. We're 50 from 100. I'm excited. That's going to be fantastic. Wow, I'm really, really excited about doing that. And I'm looking forward to... Hold on, so I got to go check something out at where I work. One of my buddies here wanted me to check something out from. All right, yeah, it's chalked. All right. He's got a dolly in front of a trailer, and he's nervous that it's not chalked and it's going to roll into the road. This is dumb. I should have paused the button. I don't want you to hear this stuff. This is a waste of time. I got 30 minutes to do. Wait a minute. That's not ours. Where is he? Oh, I got to pause this. All right, you couldn't tell, but I paused, and now I'm back. I had to pull into this tandem area because one of the older guys that works at my job wasn't sure that he secured a piece of equipment, and he was afraid that it was going to roll into the middle of the road here at the toll plaza at exit 23. So he asked me, hey, do you drive by the tandem area? I said, yeah. He says, do me a favor, can you go check to see if my dolly, it's called a dolly, you can call it a bogey. He says, you make sure it's secure. We secure it with a chock. So he's old and tired. He's older than me and tireder than me, and he forgot. I said, when he told me that, he asked me to do them that favor. I said, sure, I'll do it. But you realize if you didn't chock it, the thing's in the middle of the road now because the tandem area is on a slope. It's on like a little bit of an angle, so the water drains off properly. So that dolly would be just boom. And that's actually happened to somebody. So it's not actually impossible to forget to chock your equipment. All right, great. I've just wasted 11 minutes. I haven't gotten to the show. All right, dum-dums, let's get on with it. What am I? Happy New Year. I drove across, coming back from one of my big stops, 7-Eleven, out in what I call it Ronkonkoma, Long Island. Most people just call it Ronkonkoma, but I like to be funny. And, it's a sleepy town, so Ronkonkoma fits. It's still spelled the same, but it's, I pronounce it like a Jamaican immigrant. I changed the accent. Ronkonkoma instead of Ronkonkoma. I can say Ronkonkoma, but it's Ronkonkoma. Ronkonkoma. That's how I say it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, is anybody offended because I said Jamaican immigrant? How about Haitian immigrant? Because they have accents. They change the accent. They move the thing around. The accent. Okay. And I crossed the Throgs Neck Bridge. Look at this guy. I crossed the Throgs Neck Bridge and the George Washington Bridge just about midnight. Midnight on the Throgs Neck Bridge, which goes across, it doesn't go across the East River. I don't know what body of water it goes over. The Long Island Sound, the end of the Long Island Sound it goes over. Anyway, but you got a great view. Last night was clear sky. You got a great view of New York City. The entire, New York City is very flat. It's all very flat. And I got a great view. And there was fireworks, which I never knew happened. I don't know how I don't know this, but 53 years old, a New York City native. I didn't know that they lit off fireworks. I didn't know that was a big deal for New Year's Eve, but they did. It was all over the place. And it was like 4th of July almost. Not as much, but definitely you could see it on a clear night. And then I crossed the George Washington Bridge, which goes across the East River. Is that correct? That's wrong. It goes across the Hudson River. There's a bridge before the George Washington Bridge. I think it's called the Fort Hamilton Bridge. That goes across the East River, which you don't get much of a view of New York City. And then you go across the Hudson River, which is west of the East River. That would make sense because the East River is east of the Hudson River. And that's where you get the great view of Empire State Building, the Freedom Tower, Times Square, the whole deal. Boy, it was beautiful. Fireworks everywhere. Wow, I didn't know that happened. I really didn't know that fireworks was a big deal of New Year's. All right, good. Keep it moving, Dave. So it was nice. So I enjoyed my New Year's at work. And I actually wrote the date correctly. My first 2 attempts, I actually wrote 1/16/17. I actually did it right. You know how it takes a while? By the way, you get 30 days. Okay, here's the deal. By the way, not only is this show called the fastest podcast on earth, it's also, pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. And there's a little tagline that Mike from Comedy Pipe likes to say. He goes, Dave Kanyan, telling you the way life ought to be. All right, so here's how life is going to be for the next, 30 days? Have September, April, June, and November. The next 31 days. You have until January 31st or February 1st. It doesn't matter. It all depends on where you are on the timeline. Are you east of the timeline? If you're west of the timeline, you have until January 31st. If you're I'm confused. East of the timeline, you have until February 1st. You got 31 days to figure out how to write 2017, and you have 31 days to say Happy New Year. You can't say Happy New Year in February. The only way you can say Happy New Year to somebody in February is, let's say they were in a coma, and they came out of a coma. Because you know how you always say, happy birthday, or, you say something, silly, because you haven't seen them in a long time or whatever. So, you have 31 days. Get it straight. Figure out how to write 2017. When of course, if you write 2016 or just 16, you cross it off, you feel stupid, and then you make it 17. So you have 31 days. Get it right. It's not hard. You guys have been doing this for a long time. It's not hard. Concentrate. Pay attention. If you're messing up, then go meditate, study, come back and do it again. Practice. It'll make, practice makes perfect. So I'll give you 31 days. That's my rule. That's how Dave thinks life ought to be. I want to thank you guys for listening to episode 48 and 49, Why Are You Crying, Part 1 and Part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't really get a lot of comments. Linda Irwin commented. She comments on every show of mine, and some of them are very funny. Some of them are very insightful. So, and also Jeffrey comments, and I've had a few other sporadic comments from my buddy Mark, and I think Todd might have commented here or there. So please comment, although I got a feeling I'm going to stop asking for comments and maybe direct everybody towards Facebook, even though I hate Facebook, because I think that makes sense. I think that helps my profile, because Facebook isn't recognizing my podcast. What else is new? It's a weird algorithm weight issue. Like, they don't give weight to a podcast because they're doing Facebook Live. So maybe they don't want me to do a podcast. So once they see a mention I think something's up. Because my friends are telling me they're not seeing the notification. Although Linda sees my notifications and dumbing it down with Dave. So maybe I'm not posting it right. I don't know. But I'm wondering if myself and Jeff and Linda are wasting our time commenting on Spreaker, on the app, when we should be doing it on Facebook. And also, it's a little difficult to comment on the Spreaker app because if I comment on Linda's show, she's supposed to get an email saying, "Hey, you got to listen to comment. You're getting they say something like, hey, you're getting a lot of support. People are really liking your show." It's just some dopey email. But if she comments in response to my comment, I don't get a notification. So I might never check back to that show. Once I remove the download, I may never go. I can go to it on my laptop or my desktop. But once you comment, you move on. Hey, great show, that was funny. You move on, or whatever thing you point out. So they haven't made the comment section in Spreaker workable, pleasantly workable, and so you can respond and re-respond and get notified when somebody responds to your response, and all that good stuff. So, but Linda's good about writing some interesting stuff. So if you want, go to the Spreaker page. Go to my Spreaker page, Dave Canyon's Tracks, I think it is, Spreaker.com. And you can see all the comments for everybody. So do what you want for now until I figure out what's best. But I haven't, other than Linda, I don't know if I got a lot of comments. I thought I might have raised a controversial point or issue, but apparently people agree. And one last thing about Why Are You Crying? Stephen Colbert got a pass in those 2 episodes. Well, let me tell you why he doesn't get a pass this week. I hope this doesn't dominate the last 10 minutes. I've already gone too long. I got to learn how to do a 30-minute show. That's all there is to it. I got distracted by Superman. Who wouldn't? The guy is strong. And he flies so fast he makes the earth stop spinning and go backwards so he can save Lois Lane, Margot Kidder. Here's my point with Stephen Colbert. He knows how wealthy he is. He knows how wealthy everybody that comes on that show is. You have to know. He's in the business. I know, and I'm not in the business. And he should have said to her, but he wouldn't because, it's all political. He should have said to Megan Mullally when she was admitting to crying, and, he's a comedian. You're supposed to not empathize really with everybody. You're supposed to, just go, oh, yeah, I understand. You're a stand-up comedian. Well, he's not a stand-up comedian, but you're an actor, comedian. You have a comedy show. You have the late night. You inherited the show from David Letterman. You're supposed to be funny. And he didn't say to her, hey, Megan, I just want to ask you a question. When you were doing all this crying, in front of the president and possibly the first lady and your husband, and everybody was watching you cry, and you said, please don't go, please don't go. Was there ever a time, and when you came on the show, you said that things were really tough in 2016, was there ever a time when you were doing all this that it popped into your head that you used to get paid $500,000 an episode? Was there ever a point where you were wiping your tears and you went, well, at least I made $12 million in my last year, for pretending to be somebody else. $12 million, $500,000 an episode, possibly more, possibly 600,000. I don't know, but whatever it is. I already pointed out for 188 shows, not that she was in every one of them, but if she got paid $10,000 a show, she would have been $1,880,000 wealthier for 8 years of work, 188 episodes. So please, kiss my tuchus. There you go. All right, so that's it on that. I think Colbert should have said something, but he gave her a pass, and that's what people do when they agree politically. They give you a pass, and I don't think he should have done that. I think he should have found some comedy in the fact that she was crying. And but the clip is up on YouTube. I don't know what date it is, so look it up if you want. It's kind of for me, it was interesting. All right, so I said 50 to go. 50 to go countdown, and we're a couple weeks away from doing the count up. For those of you who haven't been listening or forgot or whatever, didn't care, we're doing a count up. As soon as Donald Trump takes office, we're going to count up to the day where something happens in the White House that affects me. It's kind of a subjective topic, area. There's no specific rules or regulations as to what affects me. I guess you could say everything he signs or vetoes affects me, but I don't think so. I don't think anything has affected me since before Nixon was in office, since I was old enough to remember. I don't think anything has affected me that's happened in Washington. I really don't. Definitely not directly. Possibly indirectly. Not directly. All right, so there's that. Oh, DIDWD minus 40. DIDWD minus 40. Dumbing It Down with Dave minus 40 episodes from today. Wait a minute. How am I reviewing episode? Oh, because I missed one last week. Oh, all right, so I'm missing it again. So I was supposed to, because I did a part 2. That's what happened. Oh, now I remember. Okay. All right. I was like, wait a minute. How am I reviewing episode 9 if we're on episode 50? I'm not on episode 49 because 49 minus 40 would be 9. All right, so I was supposed to do 2 episodes. I'll do it next week. It doesn't really matter. Who cares? DIDWD minus 40. That's Dumbing It Down with Dave minus 40 episodes. Episode number 9, I've been verified and I'm buying a motorcycle. And the original title was I've been verified and re-verified and I'm buying a motorcycle. But that was too long. So I've been verified and I'm buying a motorcycle, which is a decent, that was a decent show. It's not that long. I forgot how many minutes it was. It wasn't excessively long. And I talk about getting verified on the phone by this insurance company, Prudential, and by Merrill Lynch, the Merrill Edge, part of Merrill Lynch, where there was a problem financially and with some piece of paperwork that was lost, misplaced, whatever it was, forgotten, not by me, but by them. And every time I call, I got to verify like 20 different questions. It's just so ridiculous. So, but it was a good show. I thought it was interesting. DIDWD minus 40. I've been verified. Episode number 9. I've been verified, and I'm buying a motorcycle. And I mentioned a magazine, I think in the last show or the show before that, about a magazine that gives you the words to songs. But I was telling you the story. I got sidetracked. I didn't tell you the name of the magazine. That was Song Hits. Song Hits. I think I bought one my whole life. But once I bought it, I remember when I bought it, I went, wow, this magazine has all the words. And it comes out like weekly or monthly, because songs come out weekly or monthly or whatever it was. I said, I got to buy this magazine every week, and I want to know every song. I think I only bought one. And I still only know the words to the Nights on Broadway. Blaming it on the Nights on Broadway, singing those sweet sounds, singing those straight to the heart sounds, blaming it on, something like that. See? I remember that. Because I read it. I read it, then I sung it. I reinforced it. So if you're going to reinforce a song, I guess reinforce a Beatles, a Bee Gees song. Reinforce it in your head with reading the words. But once I read the words, it was easy. That was an easy song to memorize, I think, too. Because I know my memory's not that good. Anyway, so it was Song Hits. And if anybody's been emailing me, I apologize. I can't read any emails today because I haven't checked my emails. I've been so busy trying to get some sleep and snow blowing the other day and walking with my wife. We've walked 3 times this week, 3.1 miles every walk. So today when I get home in about a half an hour, it's going to be day 4. Day 4 out of 6 days that I think we've walked. We've walked about a half an hour. So whatever. So that was part of my 7-day challenge, week 4. I think I might get to that before the show's over. Do I have time? Oh, I can't even see the clock. What does it say? Help me out, Mr. Producer. Ugh, it's terrible. The sun's in my face. Every Sunday. Is it amazing? All right. 25 minutes. I'm sorry about that. I should have paused it again. Why don't I just pause it? Why am I putting you through that? All right, I'll start pausing it. Thanks for the suggestion. You guys are very helpful. So I'm on week... Am I going to have time for all this? I'm on week 4. It's been since December 4th since I've had a cup of coffee. Yeah, so this is week 4. I haven't had a cup of coffee or a drink stimulant like soda or Diet Max, Pepsi Diet Max, or hot chocolate or anything like that since December 4th. I've not had bread since December 4th. I've been trying to get 6 hours of sleep a day. I'm not especially successful, but I love the effort that I'm giving, and I do feel better. And I'm working on getting more sleep and getting more better sleep. I've been doing the 2 oranges a day, pretty much. I've missed a couple of days, but it's all good. And I think that's it for that. And then walking. So I've been strong. I haven't really broken anything. I haven't slid back. Nope, I've been working hard. I've lost a couple pounds, maybe about 5 or 6 in the last 3 or 4 weeks. So it's not a lot and real fast, but that's fine. It's slow and it's steady. So, and I'm changing my life, changing my lifestyle from eating like a pig to not eating like a pig, eating like a bird, which was very hard last night because the 7-Eleven distribution center where I dropped my first trailer last night, they had a whole bunch of food that they were going to throw out. It was fresh, it was wrapped, but for some reason it couldn't be delivered to Manhattan. Oh, yeah, because of Times Square. Wherever the store was, they couldn't deliver it because of the area and its proximity to the celebration, and so they had to bring it back, and they don't save it for the next day because 7-Eleven bakes everything fresh daily. They really do, and they were going to throw all this stuff out. So the guy that works there, Vinny, very nice guy, he said, "Hey, just take what you want because we're going to throw it out." And I took a whole bunch of stuff. It sat in my truck half the night, and I did not eat any of it, not one bit. Cake and some chips and some cookies and some sort of brownie that's a cookie, and they call it a brookie. So I didn't touch it. It's very hard. What else is there? Did I thank Pipe Dream? Yeah, I did the mileage report. And yeah. So episode 9, I've been verified and I'm buying a new motorcycle. Did I tell you that already? That's the DIDWD minus 40. I'll do episode 10 and probably episode 11 next time around. Okay, what else is there? Thank you, Jeffrey from the Spark. Jeffrey is the Spark from podcast Taking Over the Globe. Jeffrey's been very supportive, and so has Linda Irwin from Awesome Insanity Surfers. Had some very funny shows recently. What does she call it? Something with giggles. Christmas giggles or whatever it is. Or you just go to Awesome Insanity Surfers. I've had some funny shows lately. Very good. I listen to them in the car, not in the truck. If I listen to the truck, I got to listen to them like 3 or 4 times because I can't hear anything. Oh, boy, this sucks. A minute and a half. Wow. I wanted to give a shout out real quick. Oh yeah, I can do it. Real quick shout out to Tamara from the Shelf Addiction. You got to listen to the show, folks. Her and a co-host Lisa. I'm going to call them and leave a voicemail. They review like all these TV shows, like 100 different like 1-hour dramas. Who knew there was that many 1-hour dramas on TV? But somehow Tamara has found a way to read books. She does a book show. I'm paranoid about going over 30 minutes. And she was mentioning it's a decent show if you read books and all, which I don't. But she was talking about she had a goal in 2016 to read 62 books. Can you imagine reading 62 books in a year? She said, but I only got to 52. 52 books? I'm 53 years old. I haven't read 52 books in my life. That would be a little bit more than 1 book a month. 1 book a year. And I can't do that. So there's that. But I am reading a book, and it's good for my book club. I'll mention it next week. I don't have time. And she listened to 28 audiobooks. That's 80 books. If I read 12 books, I'd be in college right now. All right, but I'm not in college, and I got to go. 30 minutes are up. Goodbye. Good night. Good day. Good luck. Good riddance. Godspeed and great skills. We'll see you at episode 51. Happy New Year.